Hello, everybody, and welcome to Work Against the Grain. It's Jeff. Okay, as we were talking about in an earlier video, I want to show you the whole drone world 3D printing additive modeling, right? So I'm going to go to Yegi.com, and here you can see I searched it earlier, SpeedyBee Master 5 HD, and hit search. And you got everything here, right? Here's a antenna, different antenna mount. Here's the feet. Here's another arm and lens for DJI cam. Front bumper, skid protector. Here's a GPS, a different GPS. I actually downloaded this one because the GPS I'm going to use is bigger than the one that came in the kit, and this one holds the GPS really good. Here's another arm guard that's a lot bigger. Here's a more like a stock arm guard for the FS225 SpeedyBee. And then there's all kinds of camera mounts all over the place, right? This is just like page 1. Here's page 2. Here's another mount. That's on the smaller drone. Here's a GoPro mount for the one we just did. I downloaded this as well to put a different camera on top of the drone that we're building. This is that little drone, that little Flex 25. I've got my eye on that. Anyway, I wanted to show you where to go that you can find these 3D printed parts. And then if you click a link, it'll take you somewhere. Some of these you got to pay for. Some of them you don't. If they're on Thingiverse, you pay for them. If, they're on Colts or one of the other 3D model providers, you don't. And I have used this too, guys, and gals, for CNC models too. This isn't just for 3D printing. I've gotten some models on here and used them on the CNC machine as well. So check out Yegi. Pretty cool website, and then I'll show you a really quick 3D modeling and what I did to not 3D modeling, 3D printing, and what I did to print some feet for my SpeedyBee Master 5-inch drone. Okay, so for those that have been with me for a while, I love technology, right? And 3D printing is just another piece of technology that's been out for a while. This is nothing new, right? They have really made 3D printers work flawlessly these days, and I'm going to get a new one here soon, but they're awesome, right? So we went to the Yegi, we downloaded that arm that I told you about. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to load up the arm. This is Cura. It's called a slicer, and a slicer is what you put your models into so that it can slice it and know how to print it. It's much like a slicer is kind of like the Vectric of 3D printing, right? Just like Vectric Aspire is to CNC 3D machining. Cura, Ultimaker Cura, and some of the other slicers out there, Bamboo Slicer, Orca Slicer, Prusa Slicer. These are programs that you can slice for your 3D models. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this over. So I'm going to come here, and this one you just click right here and it flips it over for you. So now I got the flats on there. I am going to use what's called support underneath here. I'm going to generate support everywhere, which will be underneath where the red is. It's either on the build plate or it's going to need some support. And so I'm going to put support. And then up here, most of these settings nowadays are done for you. The only other thing that I did was, in terms of infill, I went 100%. And so you don't have any top layers because everything's filled in, right? And I'm going to position it down. Whoops. I'm going to position it down here, and I'm going to click slice. And it says it's going to take 27 minutes to print. I'm going to save it to a file right here. One of the arm guards right here. Save, replace the file, yes. And I'll be right back, and we'll load up the printer. Okay, so this is the 3D printing program that's called Octoprint, which is a web interface that allows the Raspberry Pi to control your 3D printer and allow you to upload and print from here, as opposed to having a USB drive, thumbstick, SD card, whatever, and plug into the machine and print, right? This will send everything over to the 3D printer and print. And so I want to give some sense of what we've done to this point, right? We have downloaded the model. I downloaded the ARM model. I sliced it, and all that took about 4 minutes, right? And so now, if I wasn't rambling, I'd already have this uploaded to the printer. So we're going to go upload. And we're going to go to my SpeedyBee folder and go to the SpeedyBee arm guard. And it's this 100% infill arm guard. Open. And then we're going to click this little file right here that shoots it up there. And then right here is kind of cool because it's got a camera that's connected to the Raspberry Pi. And in turn, I can, see when it starts printing and stuff. So that's kind of cool. Here I make sure my temperatures are good. I'm printing with TPU. No expert here, but I'm running it at 220 on the hot end and 80 degrees on the bed. Normally I do a time lapse of the print, but this is such a small print, I'm not going to do it this time. But I'm going to print the one arm in red, and I'll show you some of the 3D printing too. I got a camera over at the 3D printer as well. And we'll 3D print this arm, see how it turns out, and snap it on the drone, see what it looks like. Okay, here comes some 3D printing, fast-paced. It's a little bit of video. This first section is video, and then I did it like as a time-lapse with the camera. Not the built-in one to Octoprint using Octolapse, but a separate camera. Here it is right here. This is the time-lapse portion. So we'll watch this print, and then I'll put it on the drone. Okay, so off the 3D printer, took off the supports. Here's the little red foot. I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool, y'all. In 5 minutes, we downloaded it. We put it to our printer. It took, I'm looking at it now, it took 38 minutes to print the whole thing. It was a little longer than it said. And that's a functional print, right? It's a little stretchy on the sides. There's some support material that I noticed I forgot to remove from the little clips that hold it in place. But yeah, it's on there. It's good. And so I got some little red feet instead of the gray feet that came in the package, right? I don't know. I'm just having a good time. Thank you all for watching. This is Work Against the Grain. My name is Jeff.